Alright, so in the previous video, G-Chord and his friends, we learned the G chord, the C chord, the D chord, E minor chord, E chord, E7 chord, and A minor. Alright, actually, in the previous video I forgot to mention A minor. So before I start this one, I just want to mention A minor real quick. We'll actually start with A minor. So here's A minor. A minor, you're played only the 5 strings. You're playing only the 5 strings from the top down, but not counting the low E string. Your bass note will be on the low, this A. This will be your low note, the A string, 5th string. And then your middle finger, your 2nd finger, will go on the D string right here on the E note, 2nd fret. Your ring finger will go on the A note of the G string, 2nd fret. And then your pointer finger will go on the C note, which is the 1st fret of the B string, 2nd string on the bottom. And then your bottom string, your high E, will be open. So altogether your A minor should sound like this. Alright, so the C we've already played yesterday, or in the previous video, and we know that it's like this. But I'll explain it anyways, it'll only take 10 seconds. Ring finger, 3rd fret of the A string, the C note, which is your bass, your root, sorry. Your middle finger on the E note of the D string, which is the 2nd fret, the E note, and then the G string will be open. And then your pointer finger will go on the B string, 1st fret, which is the C note, your root again. And then the bottom string will be open, the high E, so all together. That was more like 30 seconds, but alright. Next note, new chord, the F chord. Best way to do this is just play a C, and then put your pinky 1 fret space up from the E note, which your middle finger is on. Or for better use, or better memory, put your pinky underneath your ring on that string. Whatever helps you remember better. And then your middle finger, right here on the G string, A note, 2nd fret. Pointer finger on the C note, 1st fret of the B string. Now with this chord, it's tricky. Not like this, but it'll get tricky when you have to bar the chord, because it is the hardest chord to bar. Wow, I was really out of tune for some reason. I guess my neck's warped down, that's weird. Yeah, that's odd. Yeah, so what you're gonna end up doing is you're gonna find that sometimes you're gonna hold down these 2 strings, which is what you're supposed to do, but eventually it'll become easier. At first it's gonna feel a little weird, so you don't have to worry about that. You can just play like that and just not hit the bottom note. And even if you do, it really isn't that big of a deal. You can actually add some flair to it. Sounds pretty cool. Make it work. Use it at your own risk. The next note will be a G, which you learned yesterday. Now I want to show you a cooler G this time. Here's F right here. If you can handle it, slide up 2 frets. Here's G again. If you play just these 4 notes that your fingers are on, those 4 strings right there, you can make it work. And remember, the reason why this works is because this note right here on the top, this is G. So the reason why F works right here is because this F on the top, or this note on the top, is F. This is your note. Is that what's out of tune? No, it's dead on. That's so weird. Yeah, so that's why because this is really supposed to be this. And G is supposed to be this. But you can pull that off by just putting your finger there like that. And And sometimes if you watch Jimi Hendrix, you'll see that when he played, he would actually use his thumb on the top. He would use his thumb up there. Give me some lovin'. It's funny. He can actually put his pinky there on the bottom, but I'll teach you that another time. Next chord here will be E minor, which you've already learned yesterday. One of the easiest notes there is. 4 strings are open, and then you have 2 fingers on the same fret of 2 different strings, which are right next to each other, so it's a really good note. A minor, which I showed you in the beginning of the episode. Really good note, really good chord. And here's a new one I'm going to show you, D minor. So it's important with this one not to play the top 2 strings because they're low bass notes. So just play the D note right here, the 3rd string, open. That's your root note and your bass note. And you're going to put your middle finger on the A note, the 2nd fret of the G string right here. And you're going to put your ring finger on the D note of the B string right here, the 3rd fret, another root. And then your pointer finger will go on the bottom fret, or the bottom string, 1st fret, this F. You just play those 4 strings, 1, 2, 3, 4, all together. It's a good chord. That's Black Magic Woman is that chord. When it goes, he strums that, but it's actually a whole octave higher. Cool stuff. And that's really all there is. Just mix it, you know? In a couple videos I'll explain the 1-4-5 and the 1-6-4-5. They're 2 of the most common chord progressions and really the main ones that you should focus on when you're practicing, because it'll help you tie together all these chords that you really didn't even know that you knew. You know, because 1-4-5 is almost all blues. You know, it's this. Yeah, that's a 1-4-5. Or like if you think about Twist and Shout by the Beatles, you know, it's. That's a 1-4-5. And then when you think of a 1-6-4-5, I always think of Stand By Me, but you can think of anything else where it starts on that major and then does that minor fall. You know, Stand By Me is, you know. Here's the 6th note here, the 4, the 5. That's all, folks.